Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So we had the end of the month here and we've got a nice tight pattern shaping up on the S&P 500. I always love tightening patterns because when they break, the clarity and the conviction in that direction is usually nice with some follow through. So that's what we're seeing on SPY. I'm looking at it on the 4-hour time frame. Ideally, that's where it's the most clear, but I recognized it on this daily time frame and knew to zoom in and get some more detail. So we had the low, we had the high of the bounce, we had a higher low holding the low of the dump from earlier in the week, or I should say that was last week, and then now we have a lower high with an upper wick of profit taking. The bulls controlled the majority of today. We had tons of volatility and trading opportunity. If you're a day trader, this is an absolute gift. These markets, day traders have been waiting for this for over a year, and they're not going to last like this in terms of this amount of volatility. So we got to enjoy it while it's here. But individual names all over the place. Amazon dumped on a Trump tweet and then it rocketed to the upside. Just insane moves in both directions. And we're looking at this tightening range. So just to pull it up on the 4-hour time frame, we have the low of last Friday, high of the bounce, higher low. And I put this arrow in this morning to be looking for the lower high on the 4-hour time frame, and it looks like that might be our lower high there, the high of today. So that resistance, I'm going to be more convinced if we see a little bit of a red on Monday and pull back a little bit back down towards 261 on SPY. That's going to fit snugly in this pattern, and then we'll look for a clear break likely on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday if it gets real tight, but I would say Tuesday I'd be looking for a break of this pattern. And it's going to be a really nice clear break, and it's going to dictate the momentum for next week. So it's certainly something to be watching. The weekly time frame for SPY is let's try that again. It's an inside bar. It is a spinning top candlestick, and we are watching to see how this inside bar breaks next week. Again, tightening range, equilibrium on the 4-hour time frame, so a weekly inside bar, certainly not surprising. And how the S&P 500 breaks, in my opinion, is really going to be determined by the tech sector as a whole. That's been the biggest factor recently, or it's been the biggest factor because the holdings are there. But financials and tech sector is what I watch every single day to be looking for clues, and it's really the tech sector as the lead horse with the financial sectors right behind. So looking at the Dow, the Dow has the setup as well. It's a little bit different. We have our low, high, higher low, and lower high. So you can see that setup again. Let's just go right back to the 4-hour time frame and look at the Dow. And not sure what the ticker is here on. So here's DIA on the 4-hour time frame. We have our low. Let's get it so we can see these lines here. So we have our low, the high of the bounce, higher low, and now we're watching for this to be the potential lower high. So again, the same tightening 4-hour pattern, and ideally we see this continue to tighten so we get a nice clear break once it reaches a flex point. So the weekly time frame, there's the daily for the Dow. So the weekly time frame, we are seeing the inside bar, same thing. The bears have the upper hand is the bottom line. We're in a scenario where the bulls have to prove themselves. So I'm not going to trust these bulls at all unless they break this equilibrium pattern bullish to start next week, because then that will show that they have follow through on this bounce attempt. If not, obviously the bears are in control after the dump week 2 weeks ago. This is a recovery attempt, but not convincing unless we break that pattern bullish. So it's very simple when you break it down to that one pattern we're watching. IWM is slightly more bearish just because we have our low, high of the bounce, lower low, lower high. So we don't have an equilibrium on IWM. It's a little bit weaker on that low, so it's a little bit different of a setup. So resistance is 153.10 and 153.70, and support's down at the low that we've seen here. And looking at the weekly time frame, it's not an inside bar because we broke the low of last week. But again, it is still the most bullish overall pattern. So while it might not be the most bullish in the last 4 days, overall on the weekly chart, still holding up with the March lows, which most other individual names are not holding. Checking the VIX pulled back today, and we have a little lower high and lower low on the VIX now, breaking 1984 support, and resistance is 2494. So a lower high and a lower low over the past couple of days. It too is not fitting the equilibrium pattern. It's slightly more bearish than that. So as we head into next week, it's all about this short-term pattern for me personally. That's going to dictate what this daily chart is going to be looking to do, and momentum. We had some really nice plays. Tesla, we were watching the oversold RSI on the daily time frame, second most oversold it's been in 6 years. We were looking for the bounce. We got the bounce today. Nice opportunity for the bulls. There was a lot of trading opportunity in both directions. Like I said, whether you're playing bullish or bearish, and using those 5-minute time frames is really a good guide, and going with the trend overall. SPY, some of the days this week a little bit choppy, but half of the days this week we had really nice clear patterns of lower highs and lower lows to make bearish entries on once those lower highs were hit. So again, just going to bring up this chart one more time because that's how important it is to me. This is the chart to be watching, the 4-hour time frame for SPY, and it would be looking really good. I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit of a red day on Monday to pull back down towards 261 and see this pattern continue to tighten for an eventual break, perhaps Tuesday or Wednesday. That's what I see shaping up. Monday will give us a lot more details. If we see a bull break and break the high of today on Monday, that's obviously a bullish indication. If not, we know to be watching this pattern. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a good long holiday weekend, and we will see you on Monday.